and welcome. This is Julie, Silver Stitches, here on Flosstube and on Instagram. It is Sunday, November 10th, 2024, and welcome. I have it twisted slightly just because, I have Skitters here that I don't want to disturb, and he's definitely, I swiped his sleeping spot, so we'll see how that goes. I have 2 full bags of charts that I worked on this week, so designs that I worked on this week, and Skitters is going to jump down, and I'm going to move over, and this is my Pikachu shirt, because I did not stitch on any Pokemon this week. I was supposed to, but I did not. So, here we go. Let's start with the first week of projects. First few days of projects. I was able to fill this up without being able to not close the zipper anymore, so there we go. That's how much I stitched this week. There's 2 full project bags worth. I'm just going to pull them out because even though I have this here for my progress of when I stitched it, but I can't tell you. Anyways, so this is what I did this week. Anyway, I did work on 2 out of the 3 things today, so far. So all of the highlighted stuff I worked on. Yeah, so I got most of everything done that I was supposed to get done this week. I definitely did a whole week of acrostic. This week's acrostic was dragons. I'm going to talk about that later on in plans on how I'm going to try to tackle acrostics coming up. So that's in plans though. So let's just start. I did mostly, so I picked, okay, all of my acrostic pieces, so seven different acrostic pieces. They were from my non-full coverage designs. Ones that were from I created a whole list of, I broke them down between non-full coverage, full coverage, and at one point it was like fancy full coverage, so things like Mill Hill kits, the ones that were full coverage that had the beads, or fancy full coverage, not fancy full coverage, but full coverage that weren't from the big designers like Heaven and Earth, Artisy, Pain Free Crafts, all of those, the big designers. Anyways, but now they have all meshed into one group, so 2 separate groups. One group, let's start from the beginning. One group is non-full coverage. Second group is full coverage. Okay, so I picked 3 different things to work on this week. One was for the acrostic. One was for the temperatures. I broke up those temperatures, also again going to be in plans in a few out at the end, but how I'm going to tackle temperatures. But temperatures this week, there was a lot of repeats, so I'm going to change it up a little bit. How I do my temperatures, my temperature stitching is full coverage. It's, you try for at least 100 stitches, if not a little bit more, because, life. But, and then the other thing is Skitters. So this is a Skitters tail, and my drink is all the way over there. Sorry if you hear the scratching, and if my camera, I've got a very situation with the camera today. I couldn't find my tripod stand, so it's, as always, it's on a stack of floss bobbin bin thingamajiggers, and leaning up against something else, so if something just, decides to bump this little table that it's on, life is going to be chaos, but that's okay. Skitters is, of course, not settling on the nice pillow that I set out for him. He has now settled on all my projects, just like always. But we're going to move him. Okay, and then so acrostic, temperature stitching, and then I put everything that hadn't been chosen yet on a wheel, spun the wheel 7 times, and wrote down one project for each day kind of thing. Whether it be full coverage, whether it be non-full coverage, whether it be fancy, whether it be whatever is left over in my whips, right? Works in progress. So we're just going to start at the beginning of the week with the beginning of the week bag that he is still lying on. Before I forget, because I really wanted to show you, and we're not there yet, so we're not ready to show things yet. So over time, over the last year, I've been collecting my jar of thread orts. Orts are the tiny pieces, or however many pieces, however length pieces of thread that you use that you're not necessarily throwing away. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. This is 100 grams of the coffee jar. Anyway, 100 grams. So the smaller one, but yeah, here we are. This is November 10th. So I added all my threads from today. So eventually I think I'm going to put this in one of those plastic see-through balls for Christmas. I don't know where to get it, but I'm not really concerned about that yet. I am pretty sure it's going to be the dollar store. So, am I talking fast enough for you guys today? I don't know what's going on. I watched a bunch of different people's floss tubes this morning, and now I am like, all my stitching isn't done yet for today. And that's the other question I have. Do you, floss tubers that watch me, do you stitch on the day that you floss tube? Like, do you stitch before you film for the day that you floss tube? Oh goodness, that you film. Or do you just show that day's progress on the next video? So do you stitch some, film, stitch some? Do you stitch all day, film at night, and then everything's all caught up on that filming day, so you don't have to show progress for next day? Next film. What do you do? Just so I can not change my ways, because I kind of like what I'm doing, but I'm just curious about what everybody else does. All right, so first thing out of the bin. I don't know. It's a whole lot of floss. Okay, of course I forgot the book in my bedroom, but this is, I'll post a picture. This is Fancy Teapots. This is the Tuesday of the acrostic for the R. Fancy Teapots is from Reader's Digest. I kind of went out of the spectrum of, what your normal stuff. Plus I didn't have an R chart, so this is where we're at. For the acrostics this week, I put on a timer, 30 minutes, and here we are. So this is the whole piece so far. So it's going to be 3 rows of teapots. And then the one that I worked on this week, oh, the crease marks are so nice, I don't even want to fold it any other way. Okay. Eventually, this is on a 14 count Aida. Chances are almost everything this week is on a 14, some kind of count Aida. Anyways, what I did this week, it did not clear my lens, but I might pause and do that. Filled in the roof of this teapot, and started filling in more, maybe like a stitch, because the timer rang, so, of the spout. So there will be two more teapots, and then this will be done. This is a long time ago started work in progress. I can't tell you how long. It was definitely pre-COVID. I think that is how I'm going to sort all of my, when did I start it? Pre-COVID or post-COVID or during COVID? I know COVID's still going on. So, floss tube, scratchy nose, of course, check. All right, next out of the flower, what do we call this? The flower firework bag. The firework flower bag is I did not highlight it. I guess I worked on it because it's in the bag. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been in the bag. I will see. This is Sad Fairy by Elena Lazareva, and I did work on it. I just didn't highlight it. This is Sad Fairy by Elena Lazareva from Heaven and Earth Designs. and I don't know if you heard that, but it was a sneeze. My window's open. It's freezing. It's finally fall temperatures, and we need to have the window open because I'm not paying for hydro for the air conditioner anymore, and James goes through hot flashes. So if we have the window closed, it gets too hot in here. If we have the window open, Julie freezes. So best of both worlds, right? I got to show you my fun Pikachu sweater that I got many, many years ago. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I added in that row of whatever color that is to keep going. Although I didn't say that I'll have to highlight. The system failed me, guys. The system failed me. Okay. The next up in this list, I worked on Monday for temperatures. I worked this actually Monday and Wednesday. Monday and Wednesday because that was the temperature that was called. So how I do my temperatures is I have 10 different projects. That's how I ended up there. Okay, 10 different full covered projects that all require a whole lot of work. So 100 stitches for said project per day of that, whatever it's called for, would be great, right? It would be great if more than just three things were called this week. So here we go. Here is my current status of, this is what it's at, of Mini Dragging in the Morning by Randall Spangler by Heaven and Earth Design. I finished the, I finished the column I was working on, and I started the next one. So 118 plus, I only needed to do 200, so I think I did 118 plus the, what is that, 182? 118 plus 82, there we go, that makes more sense. Yeah, so this is going fairly well. I am thinking once I am done this row to switch it up. I don't know if I love how I've parked all of those threads. I'm not really a parker anymore. I'm not really a stitch across the row. I'm kind of like a diagonal. Like that's what I've said in the past. I'm a diagonal stitcher now. Who knows if that'll change again, but we'll see how it goes. If you hear random things, somehow magically, I don't know why, but there are flies, not very many, and I don't know why they're still here because, you know, weird outside temperatures, right? But so my cats have been chasing the random full-grown flies. Anyways, next up in the, this was Wednesday for the acrostic. This was for the letter A of Dragons. This is Forever by Alessandra Adelaide. I don't know, it doesn't really matter which way it goes because it's an infinite symbol. This is on black Ada. It is 16 count, I'm pretty sure. And instead of doing the equidistant stitches of both sides that I thought I was going to start to do, we are now working on the left side of the stitches. And I've added mostly from like, see this? This was the same as this at one point. So I added all those stitches and it probably was close to 100 because I did have a counter going, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, it was probably closer to 100 because that's where I left off with the hanging thread. I don't mind the hanging threads if it has somewhere to go, but I don't like parking threads if there's many. It just, sorry, it just confuses me. Or what if I parked them in the wrong spot so long ago? You know, all of those kind of things. Who knows? And Skitters is making a great cameo. He is here, but he is not very interested yet. So that one was fun because I hadn't pulled that out in a long time, and that was kind of where I was going with all of these acrostic projects. Some of them, yes. Some of them are ones I pull out all the time because I don't have anything else for that letter. But other ones I have, I haven't stitched on this. This could work for this. You know, that was a whole thing. So we are running out because I think this is the last project in here. Yes, this is the last project of bag number 1. This is Dream by Stony Creek. This was for the D of dragons. So here we are. Dream. It's dark outside because it's kind of rainy, kind of cold, kind of, fall. So I have my super ring light magnifier going on, and so that's probably why it's so glary sometimes. Glary, is that a word? So I put 100 stitches into this one. I finished off that blue. Let's see what we're working with here first. Okay, so I finished off the blue of the wings of that dragonfly, and I started up working in this purple swoosh. I call it a swoosh. I don't know what letters are what letters yet. I guess I could tell you. That is all part of the R. The R is very swooshy. Although these colors aren't quite the colors that I was thinking that they were going to be. I thought the purple was going to be way more vibrant. Or at least, I guess maybe the back stitching has a whole lot to do with it, and I'm just working in the lighter colors because I don't have that darker purple yet. It's not in my stash. So skip that until, skip that color until I get all of those stitches in. I mean, skip that color until I get all of those colors. Good grief. And that is the end of bag 1. Ta-da! Alright, next bag. I mean, I didn't use the biggest project bags I had, and so that was probably the situation of why they filled up so fast. But we're going to take a stitchy break, and I don't know what's going on. We're going to have a drink. Because I'm pretty sure I just showed you like 3, 4, 5. Oh, I haven't showed you that yet. So 3, 4, 5, 6 projects in 17 minutes. Plus the intro talking. Why am I going so fast, guys? Maybe because I know that I have a lot to show today and I have a lot to talk about, because I think I'm going to take a break after I show you all of these whips and figure out what I'm going to be stitching for next week. Plus I have plans to show you, so it could be pushing the hour mark, but I'm okay with that or longer, because we figured out how to make my phone have more memory. So minus the cut in half that it's going to happen at 33 minutes, I'm just going to have to stop and restart, but that's okay, right? That's okay. As long as I remember that, because last video it happened. It didn't start recording again for some unknown reason. Anyway, so that was a minute of not talking about cross stitch. So here we are, back on this. So in this bag we have a not new start, but could have been. Definitely not this week, at least. When did I restart this? I think I restarted it last week, but it was after my video, maybe? Yeah, I didn't write what happened on the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd of November, so is what it is. So this is Mini Butterfly Rose Cross. Oh, man. By Bridget Ashwood. This is going to be one of my Stitch My Way to You Sal 2025s. The 2025 isn't added. It's just, this is what it is. Stitch My Way to You, Sal. I got this idea from Leanne at Small Town Stitches. And so I have chosen 10 different projects. So my 10 full coverages. I replaced this one with Skitters is even trying to look for me. I replaced this one with, it was supposed to be Enchanting Dragonfly by Doreen Jones. Last time I picked it up, I'm sure it's a great piece still, I'm not dismissing it at all, but last time I picked it up and tried to do what I did with this one, I definitely was like, I can't follow this chart right now because it doesn't make sense, because I think I put something in some wrong space. I don't know. Anyway, but here we are. This is currently 1/1, 1/1 full cross. I am going to be, as I've said many times in comments before, I'm going to be stitching the background 1/1 full cross, and then when I get to the actual design, I am going to be stitching it 2/1. So the cross and the roses or the flowers will all stand out a little bit more. This chart does have an option of no background. So there's that. So who knows? Yes, so far so good. I have the first diagonal of 20 finished, so that's cool. I do have all those colors, which is even more of a bonus. I always go into the project gung-ho and not, kidding it up at all. But that's cool. That's cool, right? That I have, I don't know. So the last time, we're going to flip this. The last time I worked on this, it was only 99 stitches, but it was because it finished the, what is that? Diagonal. Oh, man. Okay. The diagonal. Okay, the next thing I am pulling out of this bag is the chart title is right on the package. Butterfly Fuchsia by Mill Hill. And as you can see, I'm currently parking a thread. So this is a full coverage. Yep. I'm not really quite stitching it full coverage. Like, I will be stitching it full coverage, yes, but I'm not stitching it in a full coverage manner. I did not put very many stitches into it because if I missed a day, I didn't work on it, obviously. I wasn't supposed to work on yesterday, but I did anyway because I finished everything else and I still wanted to stitch. So I didn't put as many stitches into it as I should have, but I carried on the blue, this 3810 color, going down here. Not so much, but progress is progress, right? Yep. Oh, spaz. So this right now needs a Ziploc of its own because this part is no longer sticking. There's beads in here. Anyways, you all know the qualms about Mill Hill charts. Okay. Not quite sure why Every does. I guess they're more expensive for the Ziploc part of the... Anyways, that's okay. No problems, right? Okay, so this next design that I pulled out of the bag is Mini Snow Leopard by Artisy. I wonder if I just post things on this side of the wall. Do I normally go like this? I totally do. Anyways, is what it is. I will post it where I can find the most space. And it is 100 stitches, but I was color completing the blocks because I don't necessarily like the look of the straight line across. I don't know why. Anyway, so 100 stitches between here and there. It was a temperature piece this week. A whole lot of grays. That's what that is right now. That's okay though. Because eventually it will turn lighter, right? It's just that corner. Although that corner doesn't really look like that at all in the picture. I don't know. This next one is for a acrostic. It was the N in Dragons, and here we go. This is Never Quit. I don't know if you can still get it. I got it off of Etsy by Stitchery Stitch, and I put 100 stitches into it to actually finish off the letter, which was pretty cool. So now I have Noth, or Noth if you want to say it the way that it's going to be pronounced. I finished off the H. This is just on a 14 count blue random Ada that I got in a whole pack. And it stays, even though it's only one thing, it stays in a Ziploc bag because at one point during this whole time I've been putting each individual project into a Ziploc bag. The second half seems a whole lot calmer. I don't know why. Maybe because I decided that, I don't know why I was zooming through the whole thing. The next thing, it's fun because I stitch mostly on white Aida, right? But when I pull out a different colored Aida, I'm always like, what did I stitch on it? It was a new start, I know that. It was definitely not called for at all. But I felt like I needed to start it, and as soon as oh, right. So Romy Creations on her Facebook group posts a freebie every Monday. I decided that I finally wanted to stitch this. All I need is coffee and stitching, I think is what it is. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, and all the pictures are on my phone. So I did start this. I am using a 14 count piece of, I don't know, some kind of greenish gray Aida. Anyway, and this is where we're at. This is using, I converted everything to a Roxy Flosco conversion because you can't have too many Roxy Flosco pieces on the go at once, because I was thinking I need to have something that has Roxy Flosco because I'm not using it at all. And then after all of this, because this is not just cross stitches, these are, I can't even tell you anymore. So these are, I just made it up as I went because I was watching Murdoch Mysteries and I was thinking, well, it's not a fancy show at all, but it's, you know, back in the day, how they used to do it. So then I was thinking, I need to create this into a sampler, like with all these fancy stitches, because it's the essence of what this is saying, right? All I need is stitching and coffee. So this one is, I'm not doing these stitches properly. I was just kind of making it up as I go because I know that you don't have to cross it one way in order to go all the way. These are Scotch stitches, although they do have a back to them. Like they have the first leg. Anyway, it's 2 over 2, so it's going to be big. So all is one way of Scotch stitches. This is full Smyrna crosses. This is a normal Smyrna cross, and then this is the Scotch stitches going the other way. And then it's going to take a long time because I decided, really? Okay, so I decided to do, I don't know what it's actually called. I looked up different stitches because in my head those were the only over 2 stitches that I could, like, I couldn't think of any others. So it's the one where you take it from the outside and put it through the middle hole, and then you go over the next hole, you put it from the outside, you put it into the middle hole. Yeah, that's what this E is. It's like a starburst kind of situation. That's going to be coffee, and that's where we're at right now. And I pulled a whole color conversion out of Roxy, like I said. So this is what I'm currently stitching in. This is the Plum Shadow. And then an Old Steel is not the name of it. It's just called Steel, but it's the first rendition of Steel. For the floss, I was thinking of doing the long stitches. Anyway, in the colorway Amethyst, which is totally, I thought I pulled something else, but I guess I pulled Amethyst. And for the bobbin, for the actual bobbin of it, it is Haystack. Oh goodness. Skitters, you gotta help me out here, buddy. What are we doing? Okay. Anyway, so just for fun, just because I thought, why not have another project on the go? Anyways, that's that. And Skitters has taken over sitting beside me again, so I'll move all my stuff over here then, I guess. Okay, next thing in my, this was an acrostic. This was for Folk Hello. I don't have anything with O's, designers, or pieces currently. So the O for Folk Hello was because, actually this is, okay, start from the beginning. This is Folk Hello. This is by Elizabeth Spurlock, and that's upside down. Anyways, don't show you the pattern. Anyway, so this is Folk Hello by Elizabeth Spurlock. And that's also upside down and backwards. Oh, for goodness me. Okay, try this. This is right. Holy been. I'm like, is my camera backwards? Is it flipping? What happened? Anyway, colors, flowers on the top, pillow on the bottom. And hooray, hooray, I ended up getting a small finish. I got a letter finish. Hey, Skitters. This is a fun new game we play around here called Catch the Threads. Okay, we'll just use this. Alright, so I finished the O is what I did this time. I worked on the O, so suggestions on what do I do next? Do I fill in the flowers next, or do I go finish hello? Also, I have another little border thing down here. That same color's up here, but I don't know. I don't have... These are not called for, I don't think, so I'm going to have to try and figure out some kind of color situation. I'll have to color match, is what I'm trying to say. But that was very exciting. Hello, O of hello is done. And for one of the projects I was working on today, I was trying to finish the whole percentage, like to round it out to the next 0%. That's a lot of stitches. There are a lot of stitches in those Heaven and Earth designs, man. It was not cooperating. I was like, I'm going to finish this before I post, before I make a video. I was stitching for forever. I put in almost 300 stitches today, and I'm like, no, I'm done. No, I can't. I would love to continue stitching, but we are running out of daylight because, thank you, daylight savings time, or whatever the heck we called it when we fell backwards. It's like dark at 4 o'clock here now. Like, what? We're having some situations. My whole body has not adjusted to this falling back from last weekend yet. I've been very tired, very cranky, very grumpy the whole week. Maybe that's why we have so much stitching done, because the next thing I have to show you is very exciting. I have finished the 30. Oh, okay. Before I start this, I'm going to stop the video, start the video again, because we're at 32 minutes, and it's going to do a flip over, and I don't know if it's going to continue filming, so just a second. All right, so new thing for 32 minutes, 33 minutes. Okay, so sorry about that. So as you saw, this is how I sorted the floss for this chart with a Giant Tiger. Giant Tiger is a company in Canada based, actually the first store in Canada was based where I came from in Ottawa. So that is their giant value kind of, anyway, is what it is. This is Spot. He was one of my random spins this week for the third column. I did not get to the third wheel spins a lot this week, but when I did, this was one of them. So here is Spot. His back, why does he move? He moves all the time, this guy named Skitters. He's up, he's down, he's up, he's down. Maybe he has as much caffeine running through him as I do me. Anyways, okay, so Spot has finished his back stitching, and I have a story about him, and he has started his beading. These are my first ever 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Anyway, these are my first beads that I've ever done in my whole stitching career. Anyways, it was fun. It was fun while it lasted. Simon had fallen asleep at my feet. That was cool. He wasn't moving. Skitters came up to say hello, and I was like, no, I can't. No. I have all these little teeny tiny, as you know, these teeny tiny beads, all in a cup, not in a cup. It was a bowl, but I didn't know what else to put it in at this point. So I was thinking, and everything was kind of just balancing on my bed, and I was like, he's going to jump up, do the hole, and then beads will go everywhere, and James is sleeping, and it's not going to be right. So I ended up that time finishing the the back stitch for his feet. So his feet only had those two little, whatever those are. And I decided, where should I start beading? I have no idea. So I thought about it for a little bit, and I decided to go from top down because who knows why. Anyways, so I started at this part of his horn ear and go up. And then Skitters jumped up, and I was like, no, can't do it anymore because I don't trust him. I don't trust him not to have a fight with his brother that's on the bed. Anyway, so then glad I did, because a few minutes after that, he woke Simon up and chaos ensued, as always, as it does, with two boy cats. The running. The funny story is, so I sometimes get back home at midnight. Okay, James is fully fallen asleep. He doesn't feed the cats before he goes to bed because I don't know why, but whatever. So I essentially feed the cats twice a day, sometimes 3, depending on how much each serving is, of dry food, just so that their bowls are always full, just in case they get hungry. We have an elder cat that, likes to pick and peck all day through, so these, dedicated food times aren't really working for us. And anyways, so I sometimes want to get home, fill up their bowls before I go to bed, but then that gives the cats a whole energy burst, and like everybody is sleeping. The whole house is quiet. I come in, disturb the whole world by giving them food. The boys have a whole run around for a good 15 minutes every night because, anyways, is what it is. Okay, next up is another acrostic, because I did all 7 acrostics this week. So I'll put that over there until Skitters decides that he wants to come back up. Promise of Spring. This was for the G, because cottage garden samplings. This is on a blue Ada, probably like an ice blue or a light blue. I don't know what it was called. Anyways, 14 count. I ended up doing what I said I was going to do. So all of these things were 30 minutes, right? These acrostic pieces this week were all 30 minutes. So see if I can just, anyways. Okay, so I finished filling in the rest of the bottom of that flower, and I started in on filling in the stem. So bing, 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 the timer went off. I stopped stitching, hence the length of thread there, but this is where we're at with that one. So it is slowly but surely gaining more and more progress every time I work on it. Slower than I want to, but yeah, that's a lot of fill-in for each one of those flowers. So it's a good block stitching piece if you're ever looking for something. I think a lot of these pieces, these ones are all a good, counting definitely is involved to get the framework worked out, but once you're past that stage, theoretically you could fly through it, right? Like it would just, if you're a fast fill-in stitcher. Apparently I am not, because I'm watching Flosstube, right? And I need to watch the Flosstube in order to see what they're doing. I can't stitch and watch Floss. What I really need to do is start watching Stitch With Me's. So if you have any Stitch With Me people that you can recommend, I don't really care what they're working on, doesn't matter to me. But as long as they have either good stories or they're funny or they have, whatever, just let me know. All right, so today I ended up working on, for the acrostic, this morning was S, so of dragons. So here we go. This is Sideways. This is Summer by Dimensions. The designer is Debbie Mum. And I had a color completion. This is a whole mini finish day, I guess, because I tried to, like I said, with that Heaven and Earth that I didn't end up, and I'll probably pull that one out next because that's what's left in the bag. So here we are, though. I ended up finishing the rest of this color, this orange, red, whatever they call that, Orange red is the color, I think. Red orange. That is the rest of that for that whole piece. So that's good. This is the flower. And that is the bottom of the snail. So if I can figure it out properly, if I can read properly, that is it for that first color on the chart. Index thing. All right, next. Oh, I had to pause anyway because of plans. I did not bring the... Okay, well, anyways, this video is going to be broken up into 3, but you're not going to know that because it's just going to bang, 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 right? Okay, so the next thing that I was very determined to work on today, because it was on my temperature stitching a lot this week. It was 3 times, I think, this week. Yeah, 3 times. Was Mini Dragon... Nope. That was only 2. Mini Watching the World Go by Lucy Pittaway by Heaven and Earth Designs. You can now, if you're interested in this chart, you can get it on Bothy Threads as a kit. It's going to be a little bit more expensive because you get everything in the kit, right? But it is currently retired from Heaven and Earth. Not currently. It's been a while, but retired by Heaven and Earth Designs. So here we are, the whole thing so far. So getting there, guys. We're getting there. Because right now, as it stands, I am at 69.48, I think. So I really wanted to get to that 70%, but alas, it really didn't happen. So I have done some color completing in the diagonal I am working on. And I don't know why all my syllables are all weird, but is what it is. So I finished a whole lot up here. I worked down into this blue down here. And worked down in here as well for color completing of whatever color was on my thread. There's a whole lot more of this, of 964 in this, but at that point I was like, I need to film if I'm going to film, because James has plans that are out of the house today, and I don't know if he's actually going to do them today or not, because yesterday we did you can't tell, but we did a little bit of a house cleaning situation, and he ended up hurting his back. Like, he has a bad back to begin with, but he threw it out a little bit yesterday, so now he's just DL on the down. He's keeping it low today. Anyways, so here we go. I'm very happy with this progress. I ended up putting in 298 stitches today. I needed total 300 anyway, but I had already done a day of stitching on this. Yeah, on Thursday. So I knew that I only needed 200 to begin with. So because I missed it on Tuesday. So the temperature for this piece was on Tuesday and Thursday and Sunday. So I had 3 different choices to be able to stitch on it. So I stitched 2 out of the 3 days. That is all for my works in progress and new starts, I guess, because you hadn't seen that one before. This is currently how I'm sorting all said flosses for that one. I am going to stop here, go get something for something I started in Sisk Stitches this week. The memory game has finished in Sisk Stitches, her group. The memory game is done, so I asked her, I said, can I start this now since memory is done? And she said, yep, go ahead. So I'm running a game from yesterday, technically. Yesterday till November 30th. So I think if and when, if there's ever like a low game, quote unquote, a low game moment, like where one game has finished, but it's not time to start the next game yet, or I know that Sisk has a whole lot of ideas for a month-to-month thing. So if they run out, or if people are just no longer interested, I think I'm going to bring this game back once a month kind of thing. So this game is running for 3 weeks, and I'm going to go get it and set up for my next part of the Flosstube. So hold on, please. Hello. Okay, so the game, which I did not grab the actual box, but the game is Ticket to Ride, the Nordic version. So it's the northern countries in Europe. Okay, so I tried to explain this a couple of weeks ago. It was a fail. I'm going to insert the names. I'm not even going to try them because I don't want to offend or embarrass or whatever anybody writes. So I'm just going to enter the names of where they are instead of, and maybe like post a picture instead of show you, try and get this to focus because it would be way easier, right? So the premise, I should just really read what I wrote down on the Facebook group, but there's a board that you're trying to connect your trains to, right? Your destination points, sorry. So, so there's, okay, so there's a board. It goes really like this because, you know, but anyways, or vice versa. No, it goes like this. Yeah, okay, sorry. It's a whole thing. Okay, so it goes like this. And then James says, your board is broken. And I said, it has to go in a box somehow. Okay, so here's your board, right? You have a whole lot of different colored trains, and they get from point A to point B. So my theory is, I'll show it like this because, you know, it's easier to kind of, so you know how you see, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue trains, right? Is this upside down? No. Okay. No. Okay. So theory is you have 8 different whips or monogamous, whatever you want to do, right? So if you're working on one whip, if you're working on, you know, or if you're working on 4 whips and you want to break it up into 2 groups each or whatever. So, okay, so there's 8 different colors. There's white, blue, green, orange, red, yellow, black. What other colors can we find without having to open the actual board? Let's just do this. Okay, so this is a good representation of how many colors are on the board. So if there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we needed to get from, all right, I'm going to say this place to this place because I can't actually pronounce those words. So from here to there, you would need to stitch 500 stitches or 50, depending on how dedicated of a stitch you are, to get from here to there, right? So on your blue project. So there are spaces like this gray one, which I'm counting as random. You can put however many stitches this is into any of your projects. You can divide it up into each project you're working on that week. You can put it into just one dedicated project that wasn't called for that call. So, okay. That's thing 1. Now, there's a stack of cards, not this many, but there's, you know, more, of course. So going from destination A to destination B. Some of them are short, like Helsinki to Karuna? Anyways, I told you I wasn't going to say them. So this is only worth 10 points if you're playing the game. But it goes from here to here. And so I mapped out on the board how to get from there to there. So I said there's this many of this color and this many of this color and this many of this color. And all total, I think it was 600 stitches that you had to stitch for this one. So that's the shortest route. Each week I'm going to be picking 3 different routes that are a small, oh, that's not the shortest route. Anyway, the shortest route is this one for 6. Either way, it doesn't matter. Shortest route is 600 stitches. Medium route this week was, I think, 1,200 stitches. And the largest route, was 18, I think it might have been 1,800 stitches, maybe? I don't know. I can't remember right now. But it's a week-long thing. So I drew these cards and mapped it out on Saturday. So next Saturday, I'm going to do the same thing, post it on the group. And then on the following Saturday, I'll do it one more time. And then that'll be it until the next time Oh, boy. Oh, hello. Yikes. And it's also not helpful because this guy jumps down on the Ziploc bags, which is a slidey. Okay, there we go. See? Sliding. Anyways, that's that. So when you are playing on the board game, you're allotted a certain... You're allotted one of those colors, okay? And so then you have to put your trains you're trying to match. You're trying to get to wherever. You can't go on the same track twice. So I kind of mapped it out on here with these games, with these calls, that if that part of the track was already being used, I had to take another way. So if you have any questions, if you'd like to join Sisk Stitches and play along, you're more than welcome to do that. It's a Facebook group. You just need to answer a few questions, and then there we go. And you can also play. I don't know if I will be playing this round because I kind of... Well, I didn't play this week, at least. I'm not going to be playing this week because I have life is very confusing. I don't know what I want to do right now. I know I want to do some things, and I'm going to be talking about it in plans. But how I'm going to... We'll see. We'll see for going forward in 2025. I might just have a game going on 2025 anyway, because I have good plans. There's going to be a lot of stitches in 2025. A lot of stitches. I don't know how I'm going to do it. But it's okay. It's going to be okay, everybody. Okay, so on to stitchy... what do I want to call it? So I bought a few charts. Acquisitions. So I am participating. So I am participating in the Haid Sal 2025. I jumped down the rabbit hole, dug into the deep end, whatever you want to call it. That's crazy, but I'm doing it. We're going to see how it goes. I chose to stitch Steampunk Portal. And here we go. I don't have anything for it yet. I haven't prepped anything for it yet. I'm kind of waiting till Christmas so that I can either acquire a gift card or money or something to go towards it. Okay, so that's the first thing. So this is a Heaven and Earth Design group. They're running their Stitch Along for 2025. This is all the charts you can choose from. I wasn't originally going to do it. I think everybody says that. I wasn't originally going to do it, but something happened and, now I am. So anyways, so these 12 charts you can choose one of. You need to stitch 6 full pages of the choice of your chart that you choose for this year. If you do that by December 30th, you can have access, you can download all 11 other charts. If you stitch the whole thing by December 30th, 2025, you can get all of those charts plus, I don't know, some people are saying 1, some people are saying 2. I don't plan on stitching the whole thing because I don't think I can, but who knows. But if that's the case, you do get extra free charts minus those 11. You can get more, of course. Okay, so you can't buy them either way. You can't buy them if you're not participating in the sale because they are limited offer, limited time. You have until December 13th to purchase and choose your design that you want to do. And there we go. And right now, they've put kind of an incentive to sign up. You get 1 extra free chart for every 1,000 people that have signed up for the Stitch Along. So right now they have passed the 1,000 mark. So this is I don't know the name of it, but it's ridiculously cute. It's a dragon. And so that kind of enticed me to be like, oh, I want that one, so it worked. So we receive the email with the chart, with part 1 of the chart, January 1st, and we'll have 3 installments after that. So I think it's like January, April, July, and October, something like that. Anyways, so that's plan one. I don't know where all of the stitch time is going to come from, but we'll figure it out. The next thing that I have planned for 2025 is, we're not talking about plans, we're talking about purchases. So I purchased that. The next thing I purchased, because Cross Stitch Studio is currently still having their one-time year sale. So instead of the 10 or 11 days that they normally put the sale on for, they've put it for all of November. So if you are watching this in November and you would like to purchase a chart from the Cross Stitch Studio, they are all currently 50% off. I found out from this from official Mermaid Cove Stitcher. Mermaid's Cove. I don't know. Anyway, so she posted the fact that the sale was going on and you could get the Grinch charts. That's what I was specifically looking for. So I purchased a little bit more, I think is what it's called, by the Cross Stitch Studio. The Grinch is one of James's favorite characters. So I was wanting to, all year, I was wanting to not miss out because these charts are only available for a limited time. Maybe that's the 11th. I don't know. Something was about the 11th. Anyways, so now if you want to go get that chart, it's either only available until tomorrow or the rest until Christmas. I don't know when it's available until, but they have 4 released now. Because I think they've been doing Grinch charts for the last 4 years. So this one was from 2022. I showed James all of them, and he said, I want that one. So that was that. That was all my purchases this week. What with the nose? Good grief, guys. Okay, so the plans going forward. I'm going to take Sisk's acrostic word, that is 7 letters. I'm going to random generate a new word with those 7 letters, but only use 6 of the letters. Because I think on Sundays, how I'm going to combat this, should I stitch or should I film, is to be, if I missed something during the week, then I can catch up on Sunday. Because as it stands, I missed stitching on 1, 2, 3. I missed out on stitching 3 things this week. That's not bad, right? I had planned for 21 things to do, and I only missed out on 3. And 2 of them were like repeats, right? So, anyways, that's okay. And anyways, so I think what I'm going to do is put everything that I missed out on stitching on in the week, do that on Sundays. So yes, so the acrostic, choose a 6-letter word out of the 7 letters she has offered. So she comes up with one word, I think also random generated each week, okay? And I'm going to take 6 of those letters, rearrange it, make a word, put it from Monday to Saturday, and then do the acrostic for that for 6 days. And then the temperature stitching. I found, because I worked on I was supposed to work on only 4 things out of 7 days. That, in my head, that wasn't enough variation. So what I did yesterday is I spun a wheel, wrote down 0 to 9, and I spun a wheel with the 10 options of my my numbers for like my projects. So I wrote down 0 to 9. I spun 10 times, put it in each space for the clear days that are not raining or snowing, okay? And then I wrote down another list, 0 to 9, for my days that are raining or snowing. So one's for clear or sunny or cloudy or one of those, and one's for precipitation. So raining, snowing, hailing, whatever is falling from the sky, right? So this way, hopefully, I'll be able to get more variation in the temperature stitching, because then there's 2 options for every last number to deal with, right? So if it's like 11 degrees on one day, right, but it's sunny out, and so that's one piece. But if it's 11 degrees on the next day, but it's raining, it's a whole nother piece, right? I did plan it that way just so that they weren't overlapping. So that's what I'm going to do for temperature stitching. I am also going to keep my wheel. That was a good idea this week. I didn't get to many projects, but it was the overflow if I wanted to work on something because everything was done that day. I could go back to my wheel and say, this wasn't called this week. And spin the wheel and say, okay, let's work on that instead. Those are the plans. Was there any other plan? I felt I had like great plans. Great plans going forwards. Nope. I explained that. I did those. I showed you that. I think that might be it. So almost an hour. I wasn't very far off. My standard 45-minute video. Thinking. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to, off camera, plan out my next week, come back with all those projects. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I was like, there was something else I wanted to do. Something else I told you at the beginning of the video that I wanted to do. So I'm going to get all of that planned out and come back probably in like half an hour, but you know, it is what it is. But you won't know that because poof, the magic of film editing. Okay, I'll see you soon. Hello and welcome back. Skitters and I are here. Still, different clothing because apparently now the apartment is too hot. This is the problem with when the furnace is on. Furnace is not on, but this is why we don't have the furnace on, because this specific apartment gains heat from everywhere. I don't know. I think it's because the office downstairs, because we live above a commercial space, they have their heat on, so you know, hot air rises. That's my theory. So, plans for this week. I changed the 7-letter formula word into a 6-letter word. I did not put my phone on airplane, so notifications might pop up. Who knows? Okay, temperature stitching, not as varied as last week, so that's good. But still some things that were the same. And then the wheel spin of remaining projects over 6 days this time, not 7. Okay, so I'm not going in any particular order, just whatever's on the pile. I am missing one thing. I will put in a screenshot of it because it's in another bag in another space of this house, apartment, whatever. Okay, so some of these, they're all for one thing that I've called for. Okay, so we're going to go stitch back on Coffee and Stitch by Romy Creations. This is where we're at. You just already saw it. I will continue with the specialty stitches. I don't know how much longer that's going to last for. I think I'm going to do regular crosses for the bolt, the spool of thread, and the needle, but all of the words have specialty stitches in them. Another thing that got pulled this week to work on, there are 15 different projects in total over the 6 days. And this is Dragon in the Morning. Again, I already seen this video, but that's okay. My goals, let's talk goals as well, just for fun. Okay, so I'd like to finish Coffee. So that's another 5 letters. I'd like to finish 100 stitches or the next column, whatever I decide to do. So I'm here. So either it's going to be the 100 stitches because these are 300 stitch columns. I don't know why I decided to go down 3. I've said that in other videos. Still don't know why. Next on the pile is Never Quit. Goal for this one is 100 stitches or the letter E, whatever comes first. So an E is going to be right there. Who knows if these goals will take place because, you know, Julie, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And hopefully the pile in front of me is not going to collapse and slide all the way down. Okay, next thing that was decided was a dream. I know you've seen mostly all of these already, but c'est la vie. Alright, so a dream. 100 stitches or, I don't have the chart in front of me. The swish, whatever comes first. Probably 100 stitches though, because I want to continue this one. It's been in the friend pile for far too long. It is starting to not want to be my friend anymore. It needs to spend some time in the friends box with the finishes. Alright, the next one is working on for 2 days, I think. Pokemon. Yeah, 2 days. Pokemon starters. I did not get a chance to work on it this week because life. But here we are. This is where we're at. My goal will it'll be 200 stitches because it's twice this week. But I definitely want to finish filling in the rest of this column. And then I'll start working my way across and then down and then across and then... Anyways, so definitely finish filling in this part and probably start making my way up here if there's any stitches up there left. Across the top. That's my goal. That's where I'm going. Fancy teapots, which I still haven't brought the book over for, but here we are. Finish this teapot and outline, do the back stitching in it. That's the goal. So if I get to these, those are the goals. If I don't get to them, well, next time. The next thing on the pile is Butterfly Fuchsia, which again you've already seen, and I'm pulling all of these things out and I'm gonna have to put them all back in. The goal for this one is 100 stitches or to finish the blue, however long it carries, like this 3810, however long it carries on for. Or that hole down to here. This whole situation or 100 stitches. Let's do that. Because this is also one of my pre-COVID, it needs to be finished. All my pre-COVID stuff, I'm like, get it out. So pre-COVID, for those of you who have been hiding behind a rock, before 2020. Lots of these were not before 2020, so, you know, I will do that later, because crinkling and frustration and I stay. Okay. The next thing I did not work on this week was Cat on Bookshelf by Artisy. I'm calling it the lantern because I'm only stitching on the lantern. So, I cropped it down, and here we are. Bottom right corner. This is all that section of 310. So the next time I pick it up, I'll start another color and maybe color complete, who knows, the section or 100 stitches. Again, whatever comes first or something. This is Mini Butterfly Rose Cross by Bridget Ashwood. 100 stitches. 2 times, so 200 stitches, because I think it's twice. Yeah, 2 times. So the start of another column. This next one is the December portion of Little Dove's Year. There we go. Oh my goodness. So all of the red is completed, so I'm going to choose another symbol and start color completing all of that. So 100 stitches or color completion. So we're out with that. We did not see this last week. It was an MIA when I originally did my keeping of my charts. A couple weeks ago in my plans video, I pulled out 31 things, I think, and this was an MIA. So this is, I found it. It is Tired Trio by Plum Street Samplers. Plum Street Samplers. Of course, everything is not in, okay. Oh, good grief. All right. I'm just stitching this in the, oh, not called for DMC. Some is called for, of course, but most is not. And it's turning out to be quite interesting because I think hers is far more vibrant, but I wanted to start it right away, so here we go. I don't know if, oh, I ran out of that color, that's why I stopped there. So finishing this is my next plan. The branch does some other fun things over here, and 100 stitches, because 100 is a good even number, right? Why not? That was a 28 count Ivory Lugana, just because it wasn't Ada. All right, the next thing on this little pile, see, on the couch, it can be like balanced. On this table I have in front of me, not balanced. This is White Mandala 3 by somebody handcraft. Magnolia Handcraft. Etsy. Not sure if she still has it around. They still have it around, but here I am with this. It is a 14 count fiddler's cloth, maybe, in not the called for white, of course, because stitching with white is sad. Not sad, but I don't like it. And then the last thing on this pile of starts for, or works in progress for next week. Wow. Stay. Okay, comes out of this book. And this is A Christmas Welcome by, I should show you the picture. A Christmas Welcome by Claire Crompton. Here we are. So that's what it's going to look like in the end, in the very far future, whenever I end up stitching it but it is going fairly quickly compared to some of my other stuff. This we saw a couple weeks ago, but here we are. It is on a blue Ada, and currently all the called for colors, and that is part of the house in the middle. So that is my plans for next week. If I do stitch more today, which I probably will, I'm going to be working on what I hadn't finished yet this week. So there were some things that were called, well, that I chose to want to stitch this week that didn't get called, right? There were like 3 or 4 things. So the rest of today, I'm going to focus on Spring Cottage because that was the other green wheel call of today that I didn't stitch yet. And then the rest of today is probably going to be Pokemon Starters or Mini Beginner Seashell, or I did that. Simple Gifts, which is not immediately here. The other thing for the week, this week, that is called, well, that I chose, was the Moonshine Cabin by Modern Folk Embroidery. I'll put a picture of it here. It is currently in another project bag, I think in the other room still. So if that's it, I think that's it. It's definitely now, I think it's after the hour, so we made it. And my cats have started to wake up and have the zoomies, so that is good. And I think that's it for today. If you have any questions, comments, anything, link them down below. I will get back to them as soon as I can. And I hope that you're having the best possible day. It has definitely turned to fall temperatures here. We're getting in the minuses almost every night now. So because I live in Canada, we talk about centigrade, Celsius. So things are falling into the minuses, just -3, -4, -2. Overnight, still getting single digits mostly during the day, so it's definitely fall. I don't have anything else planned for this week. We have a doctor's appointment, but that's it. And I hope everybody has a great day. I will see everybody later. Sparkle and shine. Bye, guys.